and gentlemen, it's now my honor to invite Chief Lanier to the podium to deliver his parting remarks.
Admiral Taylor, Senior Chief Smith, Chaplain Greenwait, shipmates, friends, families. I am truly humbled and would like to thank you all for the recognitions and accolades that you give me today throughout the week, as well as the encouragement and support you've provided throughout my career. I'm going to go off speech just briefly. At the conclusion of the ceremony, liberty.
Chief, so grand.
I'm thankful you all didn't leave. As the Admiral mentioned, the Coast Guard has changed since I entered in 1993. We no longer use black and white film. All the canoes have been decommissioned, and the stone tablets are no longer accepted for memos. All kidding aside, our Coast Guard men and women have faced and will continue to face some tough challenges on the road to success. And for those that have faced those challenges in the past 20 years, I sincerely hope I played a role in assisting with you overcoming those challenges. It's what I intended to do. It's what I've done my entire career. I've committed myself to succeeding in the Coast Guard and assisting others with success in the Coast Guard and in their personal life. I did this because I learned early in life that everyone should be and should have a mentor. A person who shares the commitment of success, of the service and personal growth. If you don't have one, get one. That is my charge to you. And if you are not one, become one. That is my second charge to you. Being a mentor and or having a mentor is the only way we, as a service, are going to sustain. I was fortunate to have a great team, great set of mentors who shared my commitment to success of the service, but also wanted me to succeed personally. People like Chris Haley, who's sitting here right now, and John Moss. When I was here in Seattle as a second class, they were my PAO and my office chief. Chris challenged me from day one as he and I watched the Cadillac of the Coast Guard fleet arrive in Seattle. And Chris will tell you all about that. John Moss had a little bit of a lighter approach, and he showed me to look at the entire picture before executing actions. Because of this, I realized after one assignment, the camera was not broken, I just needed glasses. And there are so many others. Captain Jim McIntyre, the first commanding officer of the Coast Guard Cutter Mellon, Lieutenant Dave French, Brandon Brewer, Chris O'Neill, Dean Jones, Steve Sapp, Buddy Dye, Rear Admiral Earl Brown, Vice Admiral Brown, Manson Brown. The list is absolutely endless. But a mentor just doesn't challenge or guide you professionally. They're invested in your personal growth as well. The best advice I received from a personal mentor was, personal experience does not have to be your best teacher. And I have remembered that forever. And I say forever because I received that advice from my father nearly 30 years ago. He transcribed it in this book, and I've referred back to this book very often. And it's literally dated here and worn. May 7th, 1983. I'm still keeping the book. And while I talk about successes, I must talk about failure, because life is not all roses, and failure sucks. But in the end, but it's not the end. Sorry. Hey, I'm just keeping it real. But it's not the end. Failure is temporary. The feeling of failure may last for a minute, an hour, a day, or a year. Eventually it will subside. But if you quit trying, that feeling will last forever. Listen, you're going to make mistakes along the way. Being human is about making mistakes, accurately assessing those mistakes, and growing to embody the lessons learned from those mistakes. So even if you lose, never lose the lesson. Never give up. I say this because I'm retiring from the Coast Guard, but I am not leaving the Coast Guard. I'm a Chief Petty Officer, and I always will be a Chief Petty Officer. I'll do my best to make myself readily available, even in retirement, to whoever needs me, because that's what those before me did. In closing, and I did keep it brief, to my brother-in-law and my niece, thank you very much for representing the family, welcoming me with open arms, and supporting Suzy and me as we go through our journey of marriage. To my father, I thank you for the foundation you established. If I may say, you did good. To my mother, who I know is watching from above, I can't imagine how much I physically want her to be here. But, excuse me, it's all right. That's the over-under on tears right at this point here. You can't imagine how much I physically want her to be here. But I know she's here in spirit. And I thank her for all the guidance that she provided. And I love her, and I truly miss her every day. To my sister, can you believe this is the pain in the ass that used to shake your bed while you were reading? Well, I'm sure glad we were past that. I'm sure glad I grew out of that, and I thank you for your continued support. To my wife, Suzy, I can't thank you enough for everything you've done for me and for us, the sacrifices you've made, and the strength to persevere through the rough patches. This is normally the part where most people provide their spouse, partner, friend with flowers. But I'm not really a flower guy. I think you know that. Not big on flowers. You get them, 3 days later they die, and whatever. I know you want them, and I'm not going to get into a tangent of the want versus need discussion. Because we have that way too often. But I know you will eventually need and want this. So I did get you that iPad. Put that in a box. So Lieutenant Captain, you are the Tennille to my inner captain. We share a muskrat love. When you first arrived,
Please give some context to that.
we had there was a fitness challenge, and the name of our team was, what was it?
Captain and Tennille.
Captain Tennille.
Fat love.
Was Fat Love. Yes, no age by that. Sorry, all right. To Lieutenant Caffrey, again, you are the deal to my inner captain. When you first arrived, you were willing to learn, and you truly progressed from there. You had some doubts of yourself in the beginning, but please never do that again. You've done a tremendous job as a PKO, and I would go in the public affairs trenches with you any day. CRC, you got that. Going off script again, to my melon shipmates, I appreciate you guys coming out. These are the guys that was my first unit together. Harvey Hatfield, Big Frank, Stefan, who else are there any other melon guys around here? Captain Maxwell, Hawks is in the back. How you doing, man? Really appreciate you guys. You guys set the foundation for knowing that the Coast Guard is going to be a great thing. To my current, again, and previous shipmates and friends, was this a great ride or what? We had some real fun. We shared so many moments, highlights, responses, and stories. I will never forget them. Nor will I have a political career because of some of them. Monday will not be a routine day. I will not take the West Seattle water taxi. I will not put on a uniform. And I will not walk in the district building. Hopefully, I will leave a legacy for some, but for most, I will be a memory. To that I say, I hope I am the memory that makes you smile, makes you seize the moment, the memory that is a part of your success.